Hi, I'm Dave with AmberWavesAdventures, and on this video we're going to show you how we did our rear seat delete and give you a few tips that may help you with your JKU Jeep. Hurry back. Welcome back. So here's how we did our rear seat delete. First of all, I want to give you a few facts and figures that I've written down. This Jeep had a 60% and a 40% rear seat. So the 60% rear seat weighed 59 pounds. The 40% rear seat weighed 32 pounds. And I also deleted the seat belts because they kept getting tangled up in our load ins and load outs and stuff. That only weighed 5 pounds. But the total weight that we deleted was 96 pounds in this DIY project. So again, this is not going to be a how-to, but more of a here's what we did and how we did it, and hopefully you can be inspired to maybe complete a project like this. All of the work was completed with just basic hand tools. You didn't need to go to a carpentry shop or anything like that. It's just tools that I had, and I did have a pretty decent skill level with it. But here's a tip for you though. Even if you don't have the skill level, maybe you can ask a neighbor to help you with some of this, or a friend that has a Jeep, or maybe someone that has done a project like this. So again, where there's a will, there's a way. So let me tell you a few things of what we did and why. You'll notice here on this wall, it's grid wall. These are two sections, and they're 18 inches from here to here and 18 from here to here. So it's a total of 36 inches. Or 3 feet from you people up north, you know, just want to throw that out there. And the cool thing about grid wall is, folks, it's very versatile. You can put stuff on the front side, the back side, it doesn't matter. And we use these things called quick fist, and I'll show you a real quick demonstration on how you can mount some things. So if I wanted to put something here and just come around, make sure I've got this oriented correctly. The zip ties that I use are rated at 75 pounds each. I would recommend you don't use any less than that. So there's one zip tie. And we're going to do zip tie number 2. And we do change things around during certain times of the year, camping season, tailgate season, so on and so forth. And once that's there, then all I would do is just take a cutter and cut these. And it's there. And now I can put something in here if I need to. And you can mount it the other way as well. Sometimes we do that. It's just a personal preference. But this is a quick fist. I'll put some information in wherever we're supposed to put the information to let you know where to get those. They also come in different sizes. So this is a smaller version, and Quick Fist has a lot of different mounting options for things. And you can see we've got the larger ones for the axe, and we have the larger ones for the shovel, and nothing rattles around. We've got everything very sturdy. Now I got a couple of aluminum pieces, and I had a shelf. You may not have a shelf in your Jeep, but all I did was drilled a hole in this end of the aluminum piece and a couple here. And as you can see, it's just zip tied with a couple of those 75-pound zip ties. And then I used the bolt here, and this makes this very sturdy as far as vertically. And these pieces go all the way to the floor. On the measurements for the board is 4 feet by 2 feet. And it's 3/8 inch, and there's no bracing in the middle or anything. The span is not such that I needed to brace it. And I painted it with it's a bed liner. I got a quart of bed liner from Walmart. They were just a few bucks, and I need to do this again. I'm getting ready to take this out and do it again because stuff doesn't slide around real good on it, and that's what we wanted. So that's another option for you. I got a couple of 90-degree aluminum pieces from Lowe's. There's one up front. And the reason why I use the aluminum piece is so I can attach the board to the grid wall. You'll notice there's a front piece of grid wall as well. And I have a a torque wrench mounted with a couple of small quick fists. And you can see I'm shaking it. It's very solid. It's not a big deal. It doesn't rattle when we go on trails and stuff like that. There's another 90-degree piece in the back. You just reverse the process, and the back of the board lays in that, that bottom 90 degree, and then I zip tie it every so often to the grid wall. That's how that's attached. So it's 3/8 plywood with the bed coating on it, painted on it, and I did the front and the bottom, the top and the bottom, and then a couple of aluminum pieces, and then the grid wall. And I'll put all this stuff in the wherever we're supposed to put it. I did purchase the grid wall from B Store Fixtures in Raleigh, and I believe I just checked today on their website, a 2-foot by 4-foot piece of black grid wall is $25. At the time I did this, approximately 8 years ago, I think I might have had about $125 and everything. And that included everything, the bolts, the nuts, the washers, the aluminum pieces, and I would imagine the lumber and the aluminum has gone up a little bit by now. But you'll need 2 of the 2-foot by 4-foot pieces. Well, actually you're going to need 3 of those, because this piece of grid wall is 4 feet. How did I cut the grid wall? With a reciprocating saw. You could probably do it with a hacksaw, but the reciprocating saw is going to make it go very, very quickly. And as you can see, all along here, it's just zip tied together. It would probably take me about 20 to 30 minutes to take this out and get the rear seats back in. And if we can go down to the bottom now, I'll show you a couple of things. When I took the rear seats out, I put the bolts back in to where they go, and I did some clear silicone around them. That way I don't lose the bolts. Okay, so I thought that was a pretty good idea. And this is all the original carpet that's in here. We have a 110 custom-made cord that runs around the grid wall to the back, and I've got a triple outlet that we used for our coffee maker and other electric appliances. And this area here, which is behind the driver's seat, this is where the our house battery is. We keep a 2,000 watt Jackery back here, and it meets all of our needs, no problem. I also ran a direct wire from the battery to here that I can plug in and charge the Jackery while we're going down the road. So that's not a big deal. And again, you can see here I've got the torque wrench mounted. It's just a very, very secure system. It's not anything that flaps around or moves around. It's very simple to build. Like I said, even if you don't have some basic carpentry skills or mechanical skills, maybe you can find a neighbor or a fellow Jeeper to help you out. This isn't hard to do. It would only take you a couple of hours to accomplish, and I'm being very honest with you. And this actually was the first and last iteration we did. I figured I'd have to change things around. I did 45 these areas a little bit, but we like the open concept up under here, and we can put chairs and camping gear, so on and so forth. And it works. It's very functional for us. So if this is something that you think it might work for you, I think it'd be a good project for your Jeep. There are commercially available rear seat delete kits that you can buy, and I looked at those. I looked at 2 or 3 different vendors, and they were very expensive for my budget. I'm not saying they're not worth it, but they were just expensive for my budget. But this has worked for us for approximately 8 years, and we've really enjoyed it, and we can reconfigure it if we need to, and it's solid. I think it's safe. I do like to keep the larger tools back here in case there is an accident or something. If they did break loose, they're not going to be in the passenger compartment, so on and so forth like that. So again, if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments and I'll be glad to get back with you. But I hope you will be encouraged and challenged to not only do this modification, but maybe others to your Jeep as well. So I'm Dave with AmberWavesAdventures, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and we're still growing thanks to you. We greatly appreciate that. We're humbled by our growth. We can only thank you for that, and God bless. We'll see you on the next video.